I chose not to let anything win but my drive to get me to the top.
Frank Lee made the beat.
What it do, KTTeeV? This is KT, and I'm coming at you live with another episode of the Daily K Podcast. And on today's episode, I have the educational products creator and owner at Juggle Learning, Miss Markesha Wattree. How you doing today, Miss Wattree?
I'm doing well. Today has been a long Tuesday, but I'm doing well.
Hey, that's why I try to keep it with the terrific Tuesday, just to set the tone as we slide into here, because we know we are on the uphill climb.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Man, I just wanted to say thank you for taking some time out of the busy schedule, between pushing it on the work, everyday job, and the business, as I know it is popping. So I know it's keeping you busy. So thank you for taking some time out today. You're
welcome. Thank you for having me.
Man, I don't know if you've seen it, but I wanted to just let everybody know today. I'm going to give away a trip at the end of this broadcast today. I have a all-inclusive resort stay. And so, man, I've really been trying to get more into incentives and things, because it's all good to drop all this information, but give me some fun as the world opens back up. So we're going to do that at the end. I just wanted to let you know that.
Very nice.
Hey. So before we jump into the work, I like to do a wellness check as we are living in these crazy times. So how have you been doing during the pandemic and staying safe?
So I feel like I've been staying pretty safe. I have been working remotely, and self-care is important. So I've been making sure that I fit in that self-care. Sometimes it's easy to forget that because you're just going and you're moving, you're doing a lot of things. But taking that time for self-care is so important. So I've been doing that. So I'm feeling good. I feel good.
Man, you are right. I think about all of the educators. We got a conference coming up, me and a friend of mine, that just talks about the wellness of African-American men. But moreover, you think about the wellness of educators and students going through all this trauma right now, So thank you for highlighting that self-care moment. Yes. So give us a little bit of background on you, your background in education, and how you even came to the Juggle Learning.
Well, I am once an educator, once a teacher, always a teacher. So I was a teacher for 9 years. I've been in education for a little over 15 years. I started as teaching is my second career. So when I left marketing, the business world, I went into teaching. And back then, it was really hard to get into teaching, believe it or not. And I had a hard time with convincing people that I could be a teacher. They said, well, you haven't had any experience. We don't know about that. So I started off as a teacher's aide. And then I became a teacher, was groomed to be a teacher. I stayed there for 9 years and I loved it. And then after that, I went into different roles. I left the classroom, became an educational consultant, a classroom management trainer, coach, instructional specialist, done a lot of things. And then I came to do Juggle Learning as well. Juggle Learning just stemmed from things I was already doing, things that were already in my toolbox, games and activities I created when I was in the classroom. I had parents reach out to me, former students, and they had younger kids, and they say, hey, you remember that activity you created? It was really cool. Can you show me that? Can you send me that? And so I had to go to storage and dig deep in some boxes and found the original version of some of the things you'll see online. And I said, okay, I can't give them this. This is this is really basic. This is not okay. So just went to the lab, my office, to just make it better, to update it, to make it something. So it became Juggle Learning.
Man, that is awesome. I tell my friends all the time, education is shifting. It's been the same for like years and years and years. And so now to be a part of that process as an educator and as a leader is awesome. And so then just thinking about how you built your company, saying, things were so mundane, so unengaging over that time until now, like you're creating the change you want to be, right? And so thinking about going to that storage, pulling things out and going to the lab, how has that growth been from just going that place to what you see online now?
It has been a long process. And, that's the part you don't see with any business. You don't see that behind the scenes work. And, I get people telling me, hey, when are you going to come out with more products? And I'm like, oh, it's a process. It takes a very long time. So, it started with a notebook. I have this really thick notebook of things and drawings. So, it also took a team of consultants to help with it. I can't draw. So making sure that I have pictures, the icons and the pictures that are on the products are legal, that I can legally use them. And going through the legal process, going through the process of having them printed. And I wanted it to be beyond just me printing it out on my printer and laminating it, because that was tedious and very expensive. Because I also wanted to keep the cost of the products down as low as possible, to be affordable for families, schools, and things like that. So being able to find a manufacturer to be able to produce what I wanted, and at the quality that I wanted, and the quantity that I needed. So it has been a process. I am learning, always learning and growing, but I'm excited. I'm excited about all of it.
Yeah, and you're thinking about that whole process. Like you say, you jumped in, you took the leap, and you did it. You'll learn on the go. But then, thinking about how great you're becoming at things and how great you become. So, man, because I think about as I look through the site and then I check out all the products you offer. And then in talking to the creator of these products, like I say, I simply just commend you on the work because, I'm a special education teacher, elementary. And so you think about what it takes to just really get that kid engaged, Yeah. So, hey, so when you sat down to create new products for the business, talk to me about the research that goes into creating those before you even get to the drawing part.
Yeah, so there's a ton of research too. That's a big part of the piece that you don't see and people don't realize that happens. But the research started years ago. Research started when I was in the classroom, but it continued. It continued after that. So I have friends, family who have kids in my target audience. So right now, ages 4 to 6. I also have a group of students, a group of children that I'm actually working with. So I started with them, and they're my target. They're my market research, I guess you could say. So working with them they're using the products at home in their classroom, and I'm just monitoring their progress and see how quickly they pick up these skills and anything that I might need to tweak, and just to have that data, that research behind it, because you need research behind anything you do. And that's the only way you grow and get better. So,
man, how awesome is that? Like I get this lady who just calls me and say, hey, I got new toys and it's going to benefit my child. Yeah, bring them on. We'll try them out. And so, wow, how do you procure the families that you need for the trials? Research.
Well, so these are usually families I know, so friends, family that I know. Also, I'm still connected to a lot of schools from being in the school district, working in schools myself. So I have friends who are still teachers, and I can say, hey, you want to try this out with your kids? And then get their parents on board. Parents sign some forms that it's okay to do this data, collect this data. So
and then when you think about the daycares, the schools, learning centers. So I know that you're working with the individual families, but when it comes down to those centers, if I'm let's say I'm just a certain kind of school, and at this school I want to focus on nothing but intentional engagement. How do you express how your products gives that hand-on experience to address that engagement need?
Well, it goes back to just appealing to the kids' learning styles. And so, just by knowing the research and by looking at research, and it's already been done. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. But we know that during the ages of 4 to 6, during that age, 4 to 7, students' right brains are developing. So, that includes that visual, that spatial, those things. So it's at that time that we really need to cater to providing that hands-on learning. The other things will come later, but making sure that they have a lot of choices, a lot of things for hands-on engagement, being able to manipulate their letters, their assignments is important, because that helps them to learn. It helps them to retain the information. So I usually go in with that, and then just letting the children use it, working with them, and the proof is in the children.
Yeah, man, I can dig that. Like you say, just getting in there, putting it in their hands, and then taking it from there.
Right.
It's all we can research. We can be hypothetical.
Exactly.
Yes, but I can dig it, man. That's so awesome. And so when you're doing that, is there like a team that goes out, or how does that work?
It's me. I'm the team.
Hey,
I'm the team. I am the team right now, the whole team. But no, the people that I'm working with, the teachers, the educators that I'm working with, they are amazing, and helping with a lot of that and making sure that I collect the data, I have the forms, the information gets back to me, and just me following up with that. So right now, that team is me. I'm doing all the legwork.
And you think about getting into the schools as we get back going. Doing this year, I know for sure my school, we pulled all our games, everything that was shared, blah, blah, blah. How did that affect your business at Juggle Learning, and how did you adapt for that?
Well, for me at that point, most of the kids were using it from home, so it was a lot of homeschool use then. But even now, just like with most classrooms, especially in the age range that my products target, in those classrooms, there's a lot of sanitizing going on anyway. I know I was a kindergarten teacher for a few years, and I would sanitize I would sanitize everything after use. Students go to workstation and centers, you sanitize those things. You have to. That was a common practice anyway, and even more so now. So I think it's a good thing that those things are being introduced. I think they're important. Again, they're vital to that child development. So I'm excited that they're being reintroduced. It's just a matter of sanitizing, like we should be doing anyway.
I agree. And when you said that kindergarten, oh my God.
Right. Because we know they taste everything. They use their senses. Man, and that goes back to my products. They like to use all their senses: tasting, touching, feeling, smelling.
Hey, because they will, and they will cover the bases each time with each toy. That's cool. So as an educational consultant with the master's in the curriculum, we thinking about going forward. We've got the Juggle Learning that's addressing the gaps, but I want you to put that hat on with the curriculum hat. When consulting schools, as an educational consultant, we got the daycares, the learning centers. They say we need to work with you on a plan to start filling these gaps. How do you help those places?
So the first thing I do is find out where the kids are, what other gaps, and we go from there. And that's a big part of why I started with the products that I started with, because just going out and doing research and talking to preschools, daycare centers, and trying to find out where that need was, a lot of that was at that very foundational level. And me being an educator and teaching all ranges of kids at the elementary level, I noticed that a lot of times that foundation wasn't there, or that foundation was skipped. So those basic phonological awareness skills, those phonics, those things were missing. So starting with finding out where those gaps are, a lot of times that's where we find the gaps are, and that's where they need that heavy front loading.
Man, and you're thinking about that front loading. Woo, boy, we have as we get ready to turn the page of school, I think about how we're getting ready to create these plans, and it you think that this part will be secure as you go into it, but it seems like it's just as volatile as the beginning of the pandemic, because you think about, okay, well, we got access to all the kids in the building, we can hone in, but next year we go full blast, we got a lot of kids who really didn't give us that data all this year, and so man, that is going to be crazy.
And that's the exciting and scary part, because it's exciting because with our backgrounds, we're excited to dig in and give them what they need, but finding out what they need is going to be there's going to be a deficit. We know that because they've had a lot of time with not the same instruction that robust instruction that they were getting before. So.
Man. And so this year, for me, the question is all about, not the question, but the mantra is all about balance, right? I've learned how to automate a few things, figure it out. Between the everyday job and the juggle, how do you find the time to stay committed to the grind?
Yeah, balance. And it's funny because every at the beginning of every year I create a word, and my word for the last 3 years has been balance. But right now it's balance more than ever. is a struggle a lot of times. I'm going to be completely honest. It's a struggle a lot of times. Sometimes I find myself not sleeping as much because I get an idea in my mind. I remember something. Oh, I need to correct that. And I'll pop up and get on the computer. But it's about balancing that and realizing that I can't be my best self if I'm not getting rest, if I'm not eating properly, if I'm not getting exercise. My brain is not working to its full capacity. And I need all of that to perform at the level that I need to perform to run the business and to work my full-time job. So I have Post-it notes everywhere. I mean, I wish you could see my desk. I have Post-it notes everywhere. So I have Post-it notes. I set timers on my phone. Timer is for something as simple as, hey, drink water. Yeah. Get up and walk around. So
be intentional.
And I'm sure you're
intentional. Oh yeah. Yeah. Look. If I would let you see the reminders, the everything that goes off throughout the day, it's rough, you know, but you gotta have that each week on my radio show. You know, I just talking about scheduling the big things, making sure that you're intentional about doing those things. So I understand. Right. Now, where is the lab? That's the question.
So the lab is my home, my makeshift office. That's the home, and those classrooms, those spaces where I go to work with kids.
Yes. So then you get out of work. You have been hired. You putting it together.
Yeah. Yeah. So one side is where what you see right here. There's another side where all of my products are, where I'm putting boxes together. I mean, I'm the whole assembly line and everything. Wow. So I'm putting boxes together. I'm putting products, packaging them, calling UPS to come pick everything up. So it's a whole session over here.
And as you go through this, and you know, I'm just so amazed at it because, you know, you think about all the big companies that make all the manipulatives and all these things, but like I'm talking to somebody who creates this stuff, like, and so I'm amazed, you know, because like I said, as a special ed teacher, I've always been putting those bags together, but I don't know if it just came from us, you know.
Right.
So just what kind of testimonials are you getting when you're getting out and just talking to people about the products afterwards?
So that's my favorite part. And, you know, that's what reminds me that it's all worth it. And it reminds me of why I started this whole process, because sometimes it's easy, you know, to get away from that and to say, oh, my goodness, this is so much. I'm tired. But then those testimonials come through. So some of the biggest, best testimonials I received is just the growth and the excitement that their kids feel. Because my goal also was to target children who generally have a hard time keeping still or focusing on traditional activities and giving them that ability to do hands-on. My full-time job involves working with technology, kids working with technology for same thing, literacy and reading, but it's all technology-based. And so I said, well, there needs to be some type of balance. You know, they need that hands-on time. They need to take a break from the screen time and be able to do hands-on as well. So, I mean, wow. And that's where we are.
Yeah, that's where we at. Wow,
right.
That's so awesome. So what's next for you in regards to the Juggle Learning and then outside of Juggle Learning?
So I'm building. My wheels are turning. I'm in the process. I've been researching the next product because the goal is to build and to scaffold. So starting with the foundation, the phonics, and building up to you know, the next level so that kids of a wider age group can benefit from these as well. So I'm still working. I'm always working, always thinking, always creating. And outside of work, I plan to take some type of vacation, something at some point.
Wow.
Self-care.
Cool. Amen.
I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know what that might look like, but it's in my phone. It's on my Post-it notes. We'll see.
Look, I got something up my sleeve. All right. That's cool. Well, I think of, you know, as we get ready to land the plane, I think of a company that reached out to me called Rock Your Month. And what Rock Your Month do? Have you heard of them before or anything?
No.
Okay. So what they do is they work with young women in education. And, you know, it's all about their bodies. And so they give out, you know, how we have those classes with the boys in elementary. Mm-hmm. So she goes through and she does a program with young ladies and she tried to do schools. And so she reached out to me when she first started the company and said, How does she get a program like this into schools? And so as you have that connection with schools, you had to go through building that. What advice would you give?
So that's really good. That's really exciting. I need to check that program out, and it's so necessary.
Yeah.
But for me, it starts with looking within your network, and I think, and that goes for me too. I have to remind myself of that often. Like, we're so connected to so many people, and the first part of that is letting people know what you do. Sometimes I think we get caught up in, well, they know I put this out there, but people really don't necessarily know what you do. I mean, people still don't know what I do. People think I tutor. So it's putting yourself out there, letting people know what you do, and never feel like you are talking too much about it. Every chance I get, I mean, I don't spam people, of course, but I let people know what it is I do, because people need to hear it more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. So I'd say starting with your network, looking at the people that are closest to you and finding out who they know. Everyone's connected to someone that could help in some way. And then just going out there and doing the legwork, calling those schools, going over to schools, doing demos. I started with that too. Just, you have to show that value, and also show them that this will solve some type of problem that you're having. Everyone wants to solve some type of problem. So finding out what that problem is and how your service or product can solve that problem. And then pitching it to them, not in a salesy, weird type of awkward way, but letting them know this is what I can provide, and giving demos and samples of things you can do. And once you hook the kids, you're in there. If you can hook them and get them engaged, you're good to go.
Good to go. Good. And so now, do you speak at conferences or do anything like this?
No, well, not yet for Juggle Learning. That's further down the line. For my full-time job, I do. Okay. That's a part of my job. I talk for a living. so I plan to get Juggle Learning out there more too, in the same way.
Yeah, I think about what was I going to that was canceled? South by Southwest for educators. Yes. Did you look into that? Were you going to be in the building as Juggle Learning?
Not yet, but I'm glad you said that. South by Southwest, I think I used to attend South by Southwest many years, but as a brand ambassador, so representing other brands. So I'm really glad you said that, because I didn't even think about that. And that is something to put on my brain now.
Hey, see, there we go, right there.
Well, thank you for
value. That. Hey,
yes, value.
That's what it's about. Listening. And so I guess give us your contact information. Before we wrap it up, let us know, how do we find you, and just how we get these products.
Okay. Well, yeah. So the website is www.jugglelearning.com. Email. I take a lot of suggestions too. I have parents, I have people that I don't know that'll reach out and say, my child is struggling with this particular concept. I mean, I don't know, rhyming words. Do you have something for it? Even if it's not a full out product, I might have a printable or something that I can send to them. I do that as well. I do give away a lot of freebies as well. So you can email me at info@jugglelearning.com. And for anybody that's listening from the show today, you'll get, if you order by Friday, you get a discount if you use the code KT, that's K, letter K, T, number 10, and put that in at checkout. You get 10% off and free shipping until Friday.
Ooh, 10% off and free shipping. I'm gonna have to
I know. That never happens. That is a deal.
I'm gonna have to go order me a few gifts.
Yeah, because shipping is like $25 right now, even if you ship a pencil. I mean,
it's crazy out here. But I love it, man. So I just want to say again, thank you for your work. Thank you for the commitment. And the grind, because man, like I say, on top of the day job, I know how it feels to get off work all day and then be up to 12 and then do it all over again.
Right. All day, every day, and weekends.
Man, I just want to say thank you. I look forward to sharing this. If you can, send me that code, and then I'll kind of get it posted so that way people can get it. And I guess that will do it for us. You have a great evening. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. All right. This is KT for KTTeeV signing out. 100.